responsible. Because accountability is not an obstacle to freedom of speech. It is an essential complement to it.
Well, many have started paying for things with our phones, even watches.
One company, though, wants to take that technology to another level by implanting a chip in your hand. So, the overseas company Walletmore is selling the microchip in parts of Europe. It's about the size of a grain of rice, goes under the skin. It's then activated using a digital wallet app. The chip is going for about $300, and the company says at least 200 people have gotten them implanted already. I would have many questions for a doctor about that.
Yeah, how healthy
Didn't look
is
very
that
micro,
for you?
did it?
No, it was pretty big. I mean,
it was a pretty big chip.
I mean, you know, a paper cut hurts. You're going to put a thing like that, you know, in
what
your
happens
hand.
if you have to change banks? You got to like
you got to change it out.
I don't know. I ain't interested in it. Keep it away from me.
I would just want to know how it affects your body.
Yeah, it can't be good. It can't be good to put some electronic device in your body and keep it there. Ooh-wee. Good luck with that.
Exactly 5 years ago, the Central Bank of Brazil, their equivalent of the Reserve Bank of Australia, introduced a new government-run payment system known as PIX. It's an app on people's phones, and the central bank forced all the banks to accept it. Brazilians can use it to transfer money instantly from their bank account to anyone else's, a friend or a shop, either using their PIX alias or, in a shop, a QR code. And the best thing? Well, it's free for people to use, and there's a single merchant fee of 0.22%. 93% of Brazilians now use PIX, and it's rapidly displacing cards. You know it's working because the US President Donald Trump is bitterly complaining about it, saying that those great American companies, Visa and MasterCard, are losing out. So he's whacking Brazil with a 50% tariff. So here's my question. How come the Reserve Bank of Australia doesn't do it? It's talking about cutting card payment costs by $1.2 billion, but actually $6.4 billion in fees are being hoovered up for not doing very much by Visa, MasterCard and the banks, as well as Apple and Google, since about half the transactions are now using cards on our phone wallets. And that's only going to increase because, as we know, cash is on the way out. What's more, the fees are hidden. We tap our card or phone without knowing about all the little added extras. So why don't we have PIX? Well, apparently it's because the payments infrastructure in Australia is entirely built around cards. And getting everyone to switch to an app where you have to scan a QR code or know the other person's alias would be hard. Also, the system is owned by the banks and Visa and MasterCard. So the government would have to effectively nationalise it, which was fine for Brazil, but in Australia we privatise businesses, not the other way around.
As ATMs and bank branches close and Australians increasingly rely on digital payments, one economist predicts the country will be cashless in the next few years. But there are fears a world without banknotes will leave people unable to pay for essential goods and become easy targets for cyber criminals.
No time for delay on the lunch rush.
Tap away when you're ready. Tap away when you're ready.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before I get started, like always, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to our apostles, our elders, and bishops, a great millstone who rule well and teach on sound doctrine. Peace, love, and salutations to you, Akim, out there doing the work with truth and sincerity. My brothers are right, Allah down here at the GMS Virginia camp, back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Yahushai. And as you can see for this lesson, it's just a quick, MOTB update, which means mark of the beast, okay, which is known as the microchip, all right, the implanted chip that is going to go, okay, within your left hand or your right hand or on your forehead, right? And as you can see in this video, it's pretty much going into the whole infrastructure of how they're going to implement the microchip within society, man. And they mentioned that it could take up a couple years and maybe even less if the government nationalizes it. And they also mentioned as far as cashless society. All right, they mentioned Walletmore and I believe it was Pixis, right, which was like one of the two apps that Brazil was using. Okay, and Sweden as well. They said it was already like 200 people that already have this, chip implanted in them, man. Okay, but this is something that the devil is trying to usher in, okay, throughout the four corners of the planet Earth. This is what he's trying to bring. This is his new, world order. This is his new system, a new age, if you will. Okay, he's trying to deal away with the cash, all right, and he's trying to have a cashless society, so you can have all, okay, you people under his rule as his servants, forever. It's pretty much like the all back in the ancient times. We had a thing called the all, or pretty much the amongst the Hebrew Israelites, all right. If they were serving a particular master and so on and so forth, and they didn't want to leave, and they wanted to continue to serve the master, pretty much under the conditions, because they had a family or wife that was owned by that master, and they didn't accumulate or obtain that wife or children until they were serving the master. They didn't come in with their own family. They got their family throughout their master. So a righteous man, he's not going to just leave his family. So that's when the all will come into place. All right, where they will mar the all in their ear, and pretty much it was like a physical incision within their body, okay, to represent what? That they would serve their master forever, okay? And this is pretty much the same thing, all right? This is pretty much the same thing, but it's digital. The scripture says there's no new thing of the sun, that which is then is now, okay? This is Esau, Edom's all. This is the devil's all right? And with that, we understand these things to come, all right? And that's why I want to get 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. It says, lest Satan should get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Yeah, we're not ignorant of his devices. We know his whole MO. We know what he's about, all right? The scriptures clearly tell us his whole plan. The scriptures clearly tell us who the wicked is and what we're here for and the things that we must look out for in these end times. And this is it. Do not take that chip, man. Because if you take that chip, there is no salvation for you. There's no mercy. All right, Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua is going to destroy you, man. Okay? This is something that you cannot repent from. All right? And this is the last prophecy, okay? Once this is mandatory, all right? That's it. Hey, the ball is going to get rolling. Things are going to get real hot, all right? There's no turning back from this. After that, the plagues and so on and so forth, because we understand what's going to happen once he sees that those the men of the Lord are not going to take this, and other people, right? Because essentially he's trying to upset prophecy. He's trying to deal away with the Lord's people, okay? He knows if he gets everybody chipped, then he can, get the elect. But the scripture says what? If it were possible, he shall deceive the very elect, all right? And also how for the elect's sake, the days will be shortened. The Lord is speeding up time. Things are moving rapidly. All right. Why? Because, hey, we're in the end. And you see clearly what this devil is trying to do. All right. I want to go to Revelation chapter 13 and in verse 16. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Right? Who is that he? The he is the so-called white man, the wicked, okay, the elite, the ones who are ruling this world and the powers that be. That's the he who causes both small and great, rich and poor. And there's no such thing as the middle class and the upper class. Nah, man, it's rich or poor. All right, because true riches is wealth, land, resources, and things of that nature. We're considered the poor. All right, the Israelites are considered the poor. All right, and then you also have other nations that are poor and so on and so forth. But essentially, okay, there's only going to be two classifications in this society: the rich and the poor. All right, and it says what? To receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Let's go into the word right, because I believe it goes into let me see. Yeah, so it says dexios. It says the right hand metaphor, a place of honor or authority. It says the right side or feminine hand, as usually that which usually takes right hand side. All right. Let me see. Okay, yeah, so the right hand. And let's see what the... 'cause, 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 Okay, Kyle. Yep, so just the right hand. All right. So it says to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Right. So it says might buy or sell. Okay. When you go into the word mark, right? You go into the word mark. It says charagma. That's the Greek word. It says a stamp or imprinted mark. It says of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as a badge of the followers of the Antichrist, right? So a badge of certificate of servitude, right? It says the mark branded upon horses, things carved, sculptured, graven works, or idolatrous images. And it also says what? A stamp as a badge of servitude, sculptured figure, graven mark, right? And then when you go into the group the root word of that, it says karax, which means what? A pal or stake or a palisade or palisade. It says pales between with which earth, stones, trees, timbers are heaped and packed together. It says through the idea of scratching, sharpened to a point akin, right? And that's pretty much going into what? The pointing, all right? The when you pretty much the whole like how for so like I'm not trying to say the word, but pretty much when you're getting those jump shots or whatever the case may be, that's the pal or the stake, if you will, okay, which you have to carve in or scratch into or pretty much go beneath the surface of your skin, right? And then it says for the root word of that, it says grapho. So pretty much the karax is pretty much the process of going into your skin or on your forehead, right? And then it says grapho. It says to write with reference to the form of letters, right? It says to delineate forms, letters on a tablet, parchment, paper, or other materials, to write down references to the contents of writing, right? And it also says to grave, grapho, especially to write, describe writings, right? So this is pretty much and then it also says write down or record. This is pretty much what the chip is capable of. All right, so you have the actual chip, you have the process of getting it in, and then you have what's contained within the chip, the contents and so on and so forth, which will consist of what? Your birth certificate, your social security card, your passport, all your finances, your address, your email, your phone number, right? All these different things. This is pretty much your brand to let you know that you're subject to this damn devil. Just like how in the ancient time, all right, you will brand a horse, or you will brand a slave. You will put an R on a slave saying, hey, this is a runaway slave. You're stamping them. All right, so Esau, he's trying to stamp everyone and pretty much be subject to his new world order or his kingdom or so on and so forth. So that's pretty much the whole process of it, right? Which accumulates into what? It says, it had the name of the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for the number of man, and his number is 666, right? The 666, the Chi stigma. All right, and pretty much goes into, the whole barcode, the process, and the whole infrastructure of that chip, which what I found was interesting in this video. When you go back to, I think it was, okay, right here. Oh, Salakia, right here, as you notice, it says new 6, right? And then, Salakia. Trying to find it. It says new 6, and then down there it says new 6. Okay, in the bottom right corner, and then it has at 617, and then it says 66. Is that not spiritual? Okay, just letting you know we're in those times. We're going to be seeing those spiritual numbers like 144, 666, and all these different things, man, because the time is moving fast, man. The time is moving fast. All right, and this is Revelation. I'm going to end off with this. This is Revelation chapter 12. In verse 12, it says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. Yeah, it ain't gonna take a few years. He already got the chip in place, man. Okay, it's just only a matter of time before he brings it in. Okay, he's going to come with conveniency, how it's easy to make payments and things of that nature. But once he sees people start to rebel, he's going to start cracking down on you people, man. Okay, he's going to start cracking down and showing his wrath and showing his horns, man. Because that's how this damn devil is, man. The scripture says you can't trust thy enemy, all right? As iron rusteth, so is his wickedness, man, you know? So I didn't want to make this too long. It was just a quick update, you know, concerning the MOTB. Hey, we're in those times. You know, the chip is here. You know, stay prayed up, stay diligent, and pray that the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, keep you in the hour of temptation, which consists of the mandatory of receiving his mark, man. You know, you want the mark of the wall, which means exempt from judgment, not the Karakma. You know, so with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah HaKodash, and double honors to our apostles, our elders, and bishops, a great millstone who rule well and teach well and sound doctrine. Peace, love, and salutation to you. I come out there and I want to work with truth and sincerity and intent. Next, I want to say, call me Asherallah.